I may be a bum, but I'm not dumb. It's time for Bum Knowledge Corner. Hello, YouTubers. I'm the Car Bum, and today we are going to be talking about a little subject that I've been thinking about for a while, and that are what is good, bad, lawful, chaotic, or neutral. Now, many of you will probably know straight from right away that I am a nerd. This is easily realized through the um, realization. Yeah, realized through the realization. That's really clever wordplay. But from the fact that I am taking the main part of this channel is taking one game and jamming it into another game. So it probably comes to no surprise that I have also played Dungeons and Dragons. And for those who don't know, a lesser used mechanic or factor thing in Dungeons and Dragons that has kind of fallen to the wayside is the alignment chart. You know, now most people go for lawful is anything that is ordered, chaotic is or anything that has to do with laws. Chaotic is anything that has to do with crazy people. Good is anything that are nice, and evil is anything that is bad, and neutral is boring. But in reality, law does not always mean law, neither does a moral code, because that's usually what other people go with. It's like, oh, they have they don't, they have a moral code, and so that's what is lawful about it. Chaotic is not only doing random stuff. Neutral is not boring and can be even more random than chaotic. And good and evil is much less precise. It is not always clear exactly um what is good and evil given the current circumstances. Like in a lot of society, in most modern society, killing is considered to be bad, but in plenty of societies, um, yeah, people just feel like that. Some people just need to be killed. Um, so there's good and evil is not as cut and dry as we would like to think. Now we have a true neutral, and the main influence of true neutral is survival. They avoid conflict. They take only what they need. They avoid negative consequences, and they take care of themselves and theirs. In media, most of the time, neutral characters are NPCs, smiths, farmers, etc., and wild animals. Good is the main influence is good is putting others first. So their tendencies is self-sacrifice, even at the cost of their own survival, confronting evil, and having a strong moral code. In media, this would include heroes, healers, philanthro- philanthropists, and emergency units like police, firefighters, other things like that. Of course, since we're done talking about good, we should probably talk about evil. And their main influence is take from others. And when I say take from others, this could be physical. But this is also could be emotional or mental. Like you take away their sense of safety and other things like that. So their tendency is to cause others pain, the taking more than what they need, from those who do need it, especially, um, and manipulating others for fun. And usually, overall, their goal is to possess or control other people. In media, these obviously would be villains and psychopaths and stuff like that. Lawful is main influence is the code. Doesn't matter where this code comes from. It doesn't matter who set forth this code. This is the code. Their tendencies is to their tendency yeah their tendency is to accept consequences. If they make a boo boo, they will take the consequences. Yeah, I beat that person up to save somebody, but okay, I understand that means I'm also going to be punished because I beat up somebody. That type of thing. And then there's also, and they tend to have more order, and they hold themselves and others to a certain standard. In media, this would be like samurai judges and computers. Chaotic. Chaotic is just like their main influence is to change the norm. Their tendencies is to cause conflict, ignore consequences up to the point where they don't even think about it. They tend to be either very short sighted individuals or masterminds who manipulate the chaos to achieve something. So they're not always just like, I'm a brainless individual. They can also be, I'm smart enough to cause all this insanity to do exactly what I want. Think of the bad guy from Die Hard. He manipulated all the laws, all their contingencies of the police and everything else to actually work for them. So using law to cause chaos. So that's what masterminds are about, at least in my thing. In media, this would also include fey individuals or ethereal beings who don't really think about consequences that often. That one friend, you know the one, and the Manic Pixie Dream Girl. Good examples as far as I'm concerned is so this is a chaotic good and lawful evil. Our chaotic good is here, lawful evil is down here. Robin Hood is chaotic good because he directly breaks the laws. It might be to his own moral code to do this, but he understands that the laws are. He is a person who believes in laws, so the fact that he's breaking them means that he is chaotic. This is kind of the same reason Batman would also fall into this category. He does have his own code, but he doesn't really step up when he breaks his own code. He's like, oh yeah, I did something bad. Okay, I'm going to go back and continue doing what I'm doing. That's usually what he does. So that's why I don't see him as lawful. Batman as lawful. Aang is like true neutral. Sometimes he lies to get a good result. Sometimes he appeals to other people's emotions or reason or anything. Whatever gets him to the point where a good result comes out, that's what he does. Data, I think, is the perfect example of a lawful good individual. There's several times in the show where he goes against orders or protocol or something else to achieve a more good result. And then afterwards, he would go to Captain Picard, like, Yeah, I screwed up, so punish me? He usually gets told, like, Data, I'm not punishing you, but still, it's like he is willing to go through the proper channels to do things. This would include the trial that he was in where they were trying whether or not he's a living person or not, which really should have been in a higher court. um, and then we have here Kelso from that 70s show. He is pure chaotic neutral. Most of the time, he doesn't think about consequences. He does every once in a while, but his status quo is I see something, I think I'm going to like it, I'm going to do it. That's it. He doesn't worry about his own safety. He doesn't worry about the consequences. He's just that's it. So this is the Beaver King from the movie Hoppers, and just his entire society is based on um, pure neutral existence. Like if you don't really cause any troubles, but if you have to eat, eat. Um, yeah. This is just a stock photo of lawyers, and I chose lawyers here because in their most distilled form, lawyers are supposed to be neutral. They're supposed to just give you the best defense or prosecute you as hard as possible, regardless of what their personal feelings are. So that's why I chose just plain old lawyers. Um, Chaotic Evil, the gremlins are the perfect personification for chaotic evil. They just do things to cause havoc. They don't really care about the consequences. They don't care about anything. They just like, I just want to destroy things. And they do. Catwoman is a good neutral evil. And I'm talking about Catwoman as a media whole, not any particular Catwoman, because in some of them she does it for altruistic reasons. Some of them she does it for just pure greed. Some of the times she does it just because she feels like it. You know, there throughout all of her iterations, she is usually or she is usually a neutral evil. Like sometimes he does it for revenge. You know, it's just like nothing in particular that's either chaotic or lawful about why she breaks the law. But so I put her as like evil neutral. And evil neutral would also include other characters that are just like, yeah, I'm just a thief. It's you know, maybe they just have a skill set and it's basically the only thing that they're good for. And bringing up the rear is Black Butler, who of course is lawful evil. He wishes to consume the soul of his master as per the contract, and he must adhere to the contract to and only gets the master's soul after the contract is fulfilled. Now, on top of all these, I do believe that there are more like extreme on all these. Like there's true neutral. I also believe that there is true good, true evil, true lawful, and true chaotic. But those characters are actually not very interesting, and that's why most people don't even think about them as a possibility. Because a true lawful individual would be like a super lawyer. Like he always does everything by the books. He never breaks the law. He never bends the law, that type of thing. And that's just not a fun character to play with or to have in a game in general. And the same thing for the other ones. Like, oh, you're good, so if I litter, you're going to try to tell me not to? Like, that's just not fun. And a pure chaotic character is really not fun because they will just do anything and everything to change the norm, which might be fun for a short while, but having it for a long period of time is just no, not going for that. There is another extreme that there that I have, and that is what I'm calling sub-neutral. These are probably the most rare characters in all of fiction because their main influence is indifference. They have they don't care about anything, but it's not because they not because they're like depressed or anything. It's not that type of indifference. They just don't have any real emotion one way or another about anything. They have no instincts, they have no desire, which is why these are pretty rare characters because for anything that would be like this to survive, they would have to be unbelievably powerful. Like they're just basic immortals that can't die or anything else like that. This character is from Neverending Story. He is the turtle that goes, or might be a she, I don't know. Um, they just say, I don't care. We don't care. You know, like, okay, but you'll die. We don't care. Is We're indifferent. Like, to be at that level of neutral is just nearly impossible to have as an actual character in a lot of media. Usually, even gods decide are on a either good or evil or lawful or neutral stance. So it's hard to it's pretty hard to make this. The only other character outside of this tortoise that I can think of, it's not a turtle, it's a tortoise. I believe it has full legs and not fins. Um, is probably the Watchers from what the Marvel universe, I believe, because the Watchers kind of have the same thing. They are there to observe and nothing else. Even if they get attacked, a lot of them will just say, "Oh, well, I guess I get to watch myself die now," you know. But yeah, so this is my view on like the alignments. It's kind of hard to put some people into categories because I was even wondering whether or not Aang was a like Aang is definitely good, but would he be more chaotic good or would he be more lawful good? And I just decided that he kind of does whatever is needed one way or another. So he'll use both lawful and chaotic means, and yeah. So yeah, I'm the car bum. Now get off my corner.